kind of a sponsorship level. So we're having a Quasi is actually going to be talking about his business to everybody tonight, and I think it'll be a great opportunity when it gets out onto cable access as well. So the information will be broader to the public within town of Southbridge. So I think it's a great opportunity. So again, we're going to be recording this meeting. So just want everybody to be aware.
Well, I have a warranty for that lasts until January of 23. I don't know if that.
All right. First portion of business actually is I'm going to right away is give the floor to Quasi and let him talk about his program.
Okay, let me see here. If you allow me to share.
Is the share function coming up? I do have all participants can share.
Okay, let me see. Here we are. Can everyone see?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna actually just go through my life, how it started. Some of you guys might have heard my story, but I want to just go through it. You might see some childhood pictures of me, and you go through all of it for you guys. So Quasi Atchibon with Our Brave Future. We run after school programs for students in Southbridge, Webster, and in Charlton. We started this about almost 5 years ago, be 5 years in October, and it came where by mistake. So let me go through the steps and we'll go from there. So I was born in Ghana, West Africa. It's a little country down here somewhere, right there. My family, how they even came to America, my uncle was a Roman Catholic pastor that traveled the world. And when he got to America, he said, wow, this is an amazing place to live, just like any immigrant will say. And, you know, he started a domino effect to go get one of his brothers, and the next one's supposed to get the next one. When it came to my dad, he decided to bring all his 10 kids. He slowly brought 10. I'm number 7, he brought all 10 kids to America. So I show you little pictures in Ghana. That to the left is me and my cousin. I'm the one in the suit there. I had to call my mom in Ghana to get some of these pictures here. So it's not the best quality, but it's something. And then to the right, my right, all the way to the right is me. I have my sister on the left, my brothers, my 2 other brothers there. That's one of my oldest brothers there. So from Ghana, my dad had 10 kids. So he's like, where can I find that's the cheapest? Pretty much when he comes to America, and he finds North Village in Webster. North Village at the time, I'm sure still is, had it's where the state would put recovering addicts, pretty much. And these people sometimes rehab. And one of the things that I experienced there actually changed my life forever. It's one of the reasons why we started Our Brave Future is I knocked on the friend's door to go play outside. He was very hesitant to open the door. He finally opens the door. He lets me in, and I look to the right, and his mom has a needle in her arm. And that changed my life forever. But that's where how we began here. To the left, that's my youngest brother there. That's our first snow ever in America. In the middle is me and my 2 younger siblings there. And I think that's the biggest picture I could find all of us. That's 7 siblings all the way there. in North Village. In a 3-bedroom apartment. It was fun. Went to high school at Bartlett. Sports was my getaway. And that's what I did. I played basketball, I played soccer, I did track. If you called me to come play baseball, I was probably the worst baseball player to ever play. I couldn't catch, I couldn't hit, I couldn't do anything. But if you called me to come play any type of sports, I was there. That's my getaway to get out of it. And I actually used that to even get to college. And one of the best things that one of my coaches told me is, do you want to make it to the pros or do you want to get a degree? And that's one of the things that helped me the most. And I say, hey, if you make it to the pros, yeah, you can break your leg, but a degree you can have forever. So with that, I went to school. My first school I went to was New England College up in Handiker, New Hampshire. Played soccer there. A year after, my parents were getting divorced, so I moved back so my younger siblings could live with me. We got an apartment off at Worcester State University. Graduated, got my accounting degree. Worked in the field for a little bit. And then while I was doing that, I started coaching. I think I started early. I thought I was probably 18 when I started coaching. And, that's what I love to do, is just something that, giving back to the kids, and you're watching the growth, putting the product out there and actually the kids executing. And it's one of the best feelings in the world. It's better than actually playing. I think it gave me a second life to sports pretty much. But what actually happened when I was coaching St. Peter Marian, and there was a phone call I got after practice, and the kid that mom had a needle in his arm. I heard that he died, pretty much. So that was pretty much the same substance, and that changed me and said, well, how do I give back? I didn't know how, had no idea. So my girlfriend, who's my wife now, I told her about, starting some type of sports program, and she added homework help. And, with that, one of the kids that I coached there, who you see in that slides, help with robotics to add to it also. So that's when we started. We started a YMCA at the Central Branch in Worcester. We had a half a court and a hallway for homework help, but we made it work, and that's how we started. You can see the shirt if you went the Wise volunteer shirts actually to get started. They gave us the opportunity to do it. They had about 150 kids we rotated up through the week, and it was fun, and I still miss those kids to this day. That's our sports program. I was saying most of the pitches, half of the court. We had girls that were amazing, better than most boys. The kids were competitive. The teaching of it was amazing with those kids, where same thing, had the same mindset as I did, where they think that they're just gonna make it to the pros, and play sports, and because that's what they see on TV, but that's not how it works. So, giving that knowledge back to them was awesome to see. That's our homework help there we had, and you can see it's right in the hallway there, and we help them, anything they need help with their homework. So robotics, Anthony's the one in the yellow shirt there. And if you look all the way up there, I believe to my right, that's him and his dad. We had to, bring it in. So one day he just said, Coach, we should try robotics. And as crazy as I almost said no to him and said, these kids are inner city kids. They're not going to like robotics. And, he said, Coach, let's just try. So they, pushed all the robots in actually. And I just saw the kids go crazy for it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So what we did was, that year we attached the kids' grades to it to see what we could do, and their math and science really shot up throughout the year. I was like, wow, we might have something here. So, and that's how we actually pitched it to Southbridge schools to run it. And that's how I actually met a YMCA in Southbridge, where I was working full time at the bank. I couldn't actually do it 5 days. So what I told them is, I'll give you 2 days if you guys, can fill the rest. So the Y came in, UAink came in, the town of Southbridge came in, and we created an after-school program strictly on volunteers. And eventually they went off and got the 21st Century Grant. We did some creative things, awards, just strictly on behavior. So if a kid, behaves, at least try a sport or try robotics, they get something. And the best picture I remember, I think it was the last day, and a kid going like this, you know, he never got anything throughout the year, and he finally got something. He's like, I could hear him saying, like, me, you know, the kid could barely speak English. He goes, me. It was the most amazing moment to have. So over there. We did a couple parents' nights. You know, the parents would come in, the kids would show the robots to the parents. Where I believe this actually at the Y. We did the parents' night where the kids, you know, show their robots, showing going forward, backwards, whatever, you know, they decided to do, which was pretty cool. We had a special guest, Tom Sanders stopped in. That was amazing. The man was 80 years old, and one of the girls shaking his hand right there told him, hey, I want to play one-on-one. And, you know, he took his jacket off and played one-on-one with the little girl. So it was amazing to have him come in and meet the kids. We had another special guest. We had, I met Mr. Fadman. He came in, and that's how I actually met Denise for the first time. And Denise came in with him and came to see the program. That was pretty cool to see all that. But other than that, that's our bright future. You guys have any questions for me?
Where's your main office located, Quasi?
As we speak right now, it's my home.
Okay. Nothing wrong with
But
that.
when everything was normal, we were up in Charlton. That was the main one that we did there.
Okay.
But we scrambling things around now. We still have the Webster one, which that's the one we're trying to open in April. And then Southbridge, we're working on some places. We actually talking to the schools to hopefully use Cole Ave. I know the business office moved out of there, and then we're working with Old Sturbridge Village, and talks with them too to see how we can get in there too. So a lot of moving pieces right now as we try to figure out this new world that we live in. So.
Hey, Quasi, Jim Croto, McGrath
Jim.
Insurance. Hey, Quasi.
All time no see.
I know, right? Long time no see. So how can we help? How can businesses help? What do you need right now to help your programs?
Well, Randall had we actually help with the printer, right? So simple as print. I go to Staples and pay all the money to Staples to do it. And you giving us the printer is huge for us, where we can make some prints and not have to worry about going to a Staples to print. So that's huge. So where Randall gave us computer screens to use, that's amazing stuff like that. And we have programs such as where we have a monthly one. And so instead of asking someone a business for $5,000, that's a lot sometimes. So what we do is if you want to do $50, $20, $30 a month, it will ease you in too, in that sense too. So there's many ways you guys can help and partner with each other. What is share each other's audience and social media any way that you can help helps too.
Are you part of the YMCA program at all? I mean, excuse me, United Way program in town?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you're getting some funding from that.
Yes, we are. Yes. Yep.
Pete?
Yeah, I was just curious, just that question, what is the source of funding, your main source of funding? Is it all donations, or how do you survive?
We don't actually charge none of the kids. Charlton, we tried it. We didn't like how that was. It became almost like a business in a sense instead of doing what we want to do. So most of the time, it just businesses, and United Way is huge too. So each town, what I try to do is trying to find the companies that actually donate, trying to sponsor each program that way to make that work. So strictly just businesses don't donate it to make it work.
Is the program open to all children, or is there what are the age requirements, or is there a financial requirement or guidelines?
It's open to all kids. The Webster one's a little tricky. We open it to the public, but the North Village kids actually serve first because it's in the community. So we try to avoid paving buses. So the kids will get on almost like they go home and they'll come to our program, and then after that they just walk home because their house is right there, right in the same community. Same place I grew up, and you have the program right in there. But
go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jen.
Unmuted. Is it strictly a volunteer program? Like, do older kids help out with the younger kids for like homework and stuff like that? Do you ever look for, high schoolers, volunteers to?
We haven't done high schoolers. We do Nichols College kids.
Oh, college kids. Okay.
Yeah, we have a bunch of kids from Nichols that I have a great partnership with them that I've built over the years where I have a teacher with a class. The kids have a certain amount of hours they need to do throughout a year.
Oh, okay.
So I just, they come in and they do the hours, throughout the year.
And get the services. Oh, that's great. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions here? Thanks a lot, Quasi. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Bob.
I'm sorry, Bob. Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, what are some of the practical things that, day-to-day things that you need, Quasi? You mentioned being able to make copies at Randall's place. What are some of the other things that you need?
One of the things I would say is, I think I told you a little bit when we met, is some of these kids, like let's say Brookside, I partner with Brookside a lot. That's one of the places I was hoping to bring down the program. They almost like the North Village concept. I put food down. I bring a bunch of food. I have pantry in Webster, and I try to do one there. But every time I put food down, it's gone. So it is one of the amazing things. I actually can't keep pantry in there because as soon as I put the food down, it's gone for them. So I don't know what's going on in there, but I know they definitely need when it comes to food pantry. That's something that I actually got away from because of insurance reasons and such. And I spoke to Dennis McCurdy about that, and he actually helped me solve that. And he's like, hey, it's not as much as you think it is, and we actually pay for it because I remember when I was a kid, my parents had 10 kids. There's no food in the house, so usually going to a friend's house with, how we ate sometimes. So with all this going on, you can't go to the friend's house to go eat. So I wanted to create something where they could just go to the community center, they need food and grab some food. So I would say food is the biggest thing.
Okay. Thank you.
From
All right. At this point, I want to give Maureen Gullickson the floor. I heard she wanted to talk about the school and what's going on over there. Oh. Can't hear you, Maureen. Gotta unmute.
Yeah, sorry about that, Bob. When you were talking, my screen just shrunk real quick, and I had to figure out how to expand it before I could take myself off mute, so I apologize. We had gotten in the habit of my giving a quick update on the schools to everybody, and so just like everybody else, the main topic is the response to the COVID. So just to let you know, we are chugging along beautifully. We have not closed any of the schools at all this year. We have kids going in both a hybrid mode, where some kid, that's in the secondary schools, the middle and the high school, where kids go to school some days and they work from home some days. The elementary schools are either the kids come every single day or they work at home. The high school also has the option to work at home as well. But starting after the April break, I think it's April 26th, all of the students will be returning to school full time, with the exception of the students whose families want to continue with the remote learning for the rest of the year. I'm happy to report that some of the schools have most of their students back already. West Street School, I think, is up to 88% of the students who are going full time, which is great. And we have had no instances of person-to-person transmission of the COVID virus for the entire year. So the kids are learning, the teachers are teaching, and everything's on track. It's not a completely successful year because everybody's distracted with the COVID. But the good news is that the teachers are getting their vaccinations now. Since the governor has announced that teachers have priority at this time, we've partnered well with the town. And I'm happy to report that the Board of Health has opened up the community center for teachers in the area, not just Southbridge, to get the vaccine for the next month or so on Saturdays and Sundays. And the first dose was this week. And all the teachers showed up and they were pleased to be able to get the J&J 1-dose deal. That was a really great partnership, and made people feel really valued and like they can get back to normal a little bit more quickly. So hopefully next year we'll be able to partner a little bit more closely with Southbridge Business Partnership, maybe get some students involved, some teachers involved when things get back on a you know, whatever the new normal is going to look like. But we definitely value our partnership with you folks, and we want to make that closer as soon as we can. So thanks, Bob, for the opportunity to give a schools update, and I'd be happy to take any questions if anybody has them. Well, that's great.
Molly, are the majority of teachers taking the vaccine? Are they being vaccinated, or do you have?
Well, we really can't get too much of that information because it's personal health information. We have asked teachers who feel comfortable to let the nurses know that they've had the vaccination, which will help with tracing in case there's any cases of close contact. And most of the teachers that are telling us are getting the vaccine. So that's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Good, okay. I know, Dave Adams, did you have something that you wanted to bring forward tonight?
Thank you, Bob, for recognizing me. I don't have anything for tonight. I know I talked to Pete about doing a presentation next month on the Southbridge, excuse me for a minute, we just changed the initiative, Southbridge Veterans Monuments Initiative within the town. So that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. I am happy to announce that will be a live meeting at the Southbridge Hotel and Conference Center. So we'll be out in the courtyard, hopefully, based on weather. They can host us inside as well if there's weather problems. But if it's good weather, we can definitely be outside, which is great.
And what's the date again, Bob?
Shoot, Karen, do you? I flip my computer. Well, actually, wait a minute. Do you have it there?
It is it's the 4th Wednesday of April, which is April 28th.
Thank you.
All right. Sandy,
Hi,
how are you today?
I'm fine.
You
My
have
name
the-
is, I'm Sandy Ackley. My formal name is Cassandra, so if you see that, you'll know, but you probably know me as Sandy. And I am part of the partnership along with the members of a committee that I belong to, which is the Southbridge Beautification Committee. That sounds like a huge deal, but we don't have a huge umbrella. Right now, we have very few volunteers, but we do the downtown flowers in the spring and summer, and we do the greens in the downtown in the winter. And many people in the partnership have supported us over the years, and we actually send a letter, usually what we call a solicitation letter, because the plants are so expensive, and if we don't receive donations, we have to take it out of our pocket. And they actually come to almost, the expenses are almost $2,000. So we are getting ready to send out a donation letter. And I just wanted to let you know about it because we actually are a part of the Southbridge Business Partnership. So I guess that's it.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks.
We know that's coming and everybody appreciates it, especially midsummer when all the hanging plants are really going like mad at that point, but.
Yes, and you know, 2 of our volunteers, actually 3 of them, actually do the watering.
Yep.
So that's a big thing. And when we started this, we had a CDBG grant, and the baskets were handmade and designed by um, a, um, a blacksmith. And we had CDBG funds to pay for that, as well as all the urns that you see. And we also bought a watering rig, which lives at the DPW, and they fit it onto one of their older trucks, and the volunteers use that to water the plants. But they have to do it almost every day. It's really a big commitment on their part.
All right. I know we all appreciate it when we see it, so.
Thanks.
Do we have anybody else that wanted to talk tonight?
Hi,
Chris?
Bob. Yep. I'll just give you a little quick update about what's happening over at the YMCA in town. I have to let you know that we have been helping out with Harrington and setting up vaccination appointments for anyone. You do not have to be a Y member. You don't even have to live in Southbridge. As long as you live within one of the 17 towns that Harrington covers, they have an official list that we keep also. We have been able to, so far, make appointments for close to 2,800 people through the YMCA. We are averaging close to 100 appointments a day. So we are setting up the appointments, helping people who really didn't have access or were so frustrated that they were just going to throw their computer through the wall. So we have been doing that since mid-January now. So anyone at all, I continue to spread the word and tell people, if you are having a problem accessing through the state system, are just frustrated, please feel free to call us. We walk it through. We do it right with the people on the phone now. So people aren't even coming in anymore. We're just manning our phone system, and we've got a group of us that are doing this. So hooray to our staff for doing that, because they're volunteering their hours. They're not on paid time at all.
Right.
Also, to let you know, one of the items that we're doing with our United Way funding this year has just launched in the past week or so. And I can probably send out something. I know we've had it on Facebook a lot, but we are doing Y meals. So what we are doing is we are putting together meals for the community down at the village, but we are putting together meals for the community just once a week. People will call us and say, I've got a family of 4. And we have posted like what the meal is. This week, it's some type of lasagna roll-ups. So our nutritionist is actually designing the meals and throwing in healthy stuff that the kids won't notice. Like last week, there was a green mac and cheese for St. Patty's Day. It was our first time. And it was full of spinach and artichoke hearts. So the recipe goes with it. Everything is ready with it. And we tried to do a Zoom, or at least link you to a YouTube in case you want to watch step by step, but they're very simple meals. So we're doing that every Friday. We start giving them out. Thursdays, today was the shopping day. So one of our directors goes down to Big Money and does our shopping there and brings it all back. And then we package it up. We package it up, we get it ready, we know who's called in. And what we've done just to help us with the numbers is we've said it's $1 a person just when they call. And when they show up, it really isn't. It's free. But we just want to make sure you're showing up for this, because when we initially started to launch in November, people would call and then never show up for what they had said, because it was too cold out to come out. So we've started that. We've got a ways to go. We're going to continue this program because it's off to a really well start. And again, the meals are prepared and done by a nutritionist who's on our staff. And also another staff person is a culinary arts instructor at Doherty High in Worcester. So we've got the 2 of them giving us their time to do it. We're about ready to open phase 4 as of Monday. A lot of the rules change again, and the Y will continue to stay safe. We'll still have plexiglass, and by law, you still have to wear your masks in the Y, and even outside, because that's something the state hasn't lifted yet. But we will be opening up for additional people. The locker rooms will now be open at a 50% capacity. The fitness center is already open at that. The pool is up and running. And in the pool, we do still have an appointment schedule, so you have to schedule for a lane. But as of Monday, it's again 50% capacity in the pool, so we can start up with a lot of things. We've got swim instruction going on already, and we've got our swim team is already back and working at it and competing in town. So that's all good. And finally, we are about to camp season, which is out at Camp Fosket, but in Charlton, obviously. And we received in the new regs this week. So we are quickly working on them to make sure everything's in compliance, but we will average, we can accept up to 150 kids in an outdoor setting. So people are already registering because last year we had to turn away people. So this year we hope we don't have to turn away. We do have scholarship money available, I call it. No one should be held back because of income. So if anyone you know of has kids and they've got to get them out of the house after all of this, come on down, we'll take care of it. And Maureen, I am really happy to say that we were doing at least one classroom. We started off with 2 for the virtual learners that were full day at the Y. And we are down to 1 classroom left open because everyone has been going back to school and feeling really comfortable. I have to say that we have seen wonders coming, working with the school system. And so we are pretty close to closing the last classroom. I think we only have 8 kids left that are with us all day long and on the computers. And from what we understand, their parents have said they're going back to school. So they are ready to roll. But come on down and visit. Everything's still as safe as can be.
All right, it's all good to hear.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any? Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bob. I should have mentioned this. I know Ms. Dean from the Economic Development Team downstairs at the town. It's a survey that we just recently received. Wow. Ms. Dean applied for 3 grants and the town received about, I think it's over about $350,000 plus for what we call shared streets and a few other things. But one of these grants that we received is twofold. One is to work on the urban renewal area within our town and to educate our redevelopment authority that has immense authority per se, but they are a big benefit to our town if we can utilize them correctly. So a survey is going to be going out. I know Bob received this today and I'll be pushing this out as well. This survey is for the urban renewal area itself, for those business partners that are within there. And if there's any business partners in there, we'd like you to fill it out and please pass the word on to the other businesses within the area. We do have a map, which was sent off as well, that coordinates all of this. And it's a simple link and it takes, no kidding, about 5 minutes to fill out. And it's kind of given us an idea what the businesses need, what type of businesses do we do have. And it kind of, it gives the consultants that we hired through this grant an idea where we're hurting, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what needs to stay the same with a little tweaking as far as the town is concerned itself. But we'd love to have everybody fill this out as they go along. But if you start seeing rapid beacons, yellow beacons on Main Street and the old tag and area, this is all part of some of the grants that we've been receiving. And hopefully we'll see some markets pop up in the Central Street parking lot. I think we received $230,000 for that as well to help out quite a bit. So that's all I have for that. Thank you for letting me speak.
All right, so just so people understand, I don't know if everybody knows the so-called downtown historic district. That's when I looked at the map this afternoon, it's mostly that historic district, which is Main Street, Central Street, and kind of back into the quarter off of Hamilton and Hook Street and around up that way. So basically we'll get in touch with all of the SBP member partners that are part of that and get them directly to the email direct. So the links will be going out that way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bob, can I just ask, how
Hi.
far down Main Street does it go?
It only goes to Foster, so the church on the corner of Foster and Main, it doesn't go to the other side of Foster, so Southbridge Cornerstone Bank now is part of it. And it's just that row of Main Street all the way to the corner of Goddard, across Goddard and Hamilton.
Yeah.
And then it goes around Hook Street. So that's pretty much it. It does reach down to Floods, where Floods Automotive is. That's the end of the corner of it on Hamilton, and again Hook Street. But it doesn't go down to Foster, down to Center of Hope is not included in it. It just comes around to that point that's on the end. That's that dangerous intersection we got there. So. Again, I'm gonna reach out to everybody directly. There's
Thank you.
Yeah, there's about 4 members, partners that are part of that are in that district. And then I personally know another 6 other people that are in the district that I'm gonna email and reach out to. So we're gonna try and help the town out as much as possible to get the survey done. So. Does anybody else have anything else?
That's too bad it doesn't go down to 111.
No, I wish it did. It really covers what they call that original historic district plan that they had that, I think that goes back a long time, Barbara.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else want the floor tonight? All right, well, I think we've had a great evening. Good to hear from everybody. And it's I think as the COVID requirements relax a little bit, we'll all enjoy life a little bit more. Looking forward to seeing all of you next month at Southbridge Hotel and Conference Center. Again, April 28th, we'll be down there, and it should be good to see everybody in person again. Masks required, though.
Yeah.
5:30, Bob?
We will have to do an RSVP for that meeting as well, just to make sure that we're following all of the guidelines and the capacity. So we'll send out an email just to remind you to RSVP. We don't foresee hitting a capacity limit, but we just need to make sure we have everyone's contact info.
All right. Everybody have a great evening, and appreciate your time tonight.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye now.
everyone.